Hello and a very warm welcome to finals day here in Thailand. We're in the land of smiles for the conclusion of our first event on the HSBC BWF World Tour for 2018, the Thai Masters. It's just the first of 27 global tournaments we'll be bringing you over the next 12 months. So sit back and enjoy the action here in Bangkok. Well, this is a Super 300 event from the Nitchaon Stadium, which was built in the 60s. And it's part of the National Stadium complex here. Room for around about 6,000 spectators. It's a spectacular venue too, with the flashing lights and the music blaring from mega loudspeakers. The events this year split to different levels. The Super 300s, we're at one of those this weekend. There are 11 of those. The Super 500s, the Super 750s, 3 Super 1000s. The higher the number, the more esteemed the tournament, the bigger the prize money. And the finals are in Guangzhou in China in December. The top 8 from each badminton category will make those finals. Now, here's where we're going to be over the next 6 months or so. We're in Malaysia next week. That's just a couple of hours in the air here from Bangkok. Indonesia after that, then India. And in Europe, we go to Basel and then Düsseldorf in early March, Birmingham for the important All England Open. Then we're down under in New Zealand and Australia in May. The US Open on the West Coast, that's in early June. And we're back to the Far East for Malaysia and Indonesia as we head towards the beginning of July. My name's Trevor Harris alongside Steve Pedersen for today's finals day. There's the lineup, Steve. We're kicking off with the women's singles. Jindapol, who's the #1 seed. She's from the home nation, so she'll get a lot of crowd support. She'll be hard to beat, won't she? Interesting matchup in the men's singles. 18-year-old Leon Junhao takes on the defending champion, who's more than 10 years older, Tommy Sugiyato. Then we've got the mixed doubles final. We watched yesterday, if you're with us, Chang Pan-soon and Go Liu Ying. They'll take some beating today. The women's doubles is another Thai versus Indonesia affair. It's the #1 seeds against the #2 seeds, as you can see. And we finish with the men's doubles, and this should be fascinating. The young Thai pair, Isriyenet and Namdae, who yesterday knocked out the #3 seeds. It'll be the biggest day in their career if they can take down the #7 seeds from Indonesia. So that's your lineup for the next 5 or 6 hours or so. Plenty of smoke and no mirrors here. It's genuine sporting action of the highest caliber. Here's the route towards the women's singles final, how the likes of Jindapol and her opponent today, CHOCHUWONG, got to this stage. And if you were with us yesterday afternoon, you'd have seen Jindapol have a real tussle with Sonia Chea. That match lasted about an hour and a half, I remember. But in fact, as you can see in the other half of the draw, CHOCHUWONG also was taken to 3 games by Salvador Kisona. So it should be a fascinating final. Jindapol will start favourite, clearly. She is the #1 seed. And she is ranked 13th in the world. And who knows what happens in finals. Pressure does all kinds of things. We'll have the 2 singles finals first, then the mixed doubles, then the women's doubles, and we conclude with the men's doubles. And by the way, the presentations for all of these events will be after the respective matches, so there'll be lots of glittering cups flying around throughout the afternoon. That is our first match for the women's singles title here at the Thai Masters. And the home support is going to be shared here because it's an all-Thai women's final. There's Jindapol. She is the top-ranked Thai player in the world. She won the Bitburger Masters in Germany last year, born in Phuket. And she's also represented her country with distinction at the Asian Games and the Uber Cup as well. And her opponent, Pornpawee CHOCHUWONG, who's still a teenager, 19 years of age. Already ranked 23 in the world. She has been inside the top 20 incidentally as well. She won a silver at the World Juniors a couple of years ago in Bilbao in Spain. It's still a learning curve for her, Steen, but she's shown immense promise in her short career today.
Yeah, and it's good for her to reach the final here. She's had a quick glance at her match yesterday, and could see that both she and her coaches were really, really happy.
First time, as you saw, these two have met competitively, although you would imagine they'll still know a fair amount about each other's game.
Right. This one, right.
So the pleasantry's over. We're going to have a short knock-up, and then we'll be underway for what could be a fascinating battle here. What do you think CHOCHUWONG has to do, Steen, to make this really competitive? How potentially could she rattle the #1 seed?
Well, I'm actually a bit in the dark about it because I haven't really seen her play a lot, and I have one question mark here, and I think it's really, really concerning for both players because they're both wearing quite heavy strappings on their thighs and the knee as well on Pornpawee CHOCHUWONG. As we see the road to the final here for JINDAPOL.
Yeah, she was just taken to that third game in the semi-final. Everything else was straight games and relatively comfortable too. It was a real marathon, that game with Che yesterday. Terrific match. I hope you were with us and enjoyed it. It was, the outcome was in the balance pretty much throughout until the last couple of minutes. There's CHOCHUWONG's profile. Born in Rayong. Confirmation she's going to be 20 next birthday. Certainly the biggest stage that she's played on to date. She won a team gold Southeast Asia Games last year, and also the individual bronze in that event. So she's had some experience tournament-wise in front of reasonable sized crowds, but obviously a bit of added pressure playing on home soil here.
Now we're talking about SEA Games Team Gold, the royalty. This tournament is named after Her Royal Highness Princess Siriwanawari. She actually won a Team Gold herself with the Thailand badminton team in the SEA Games in 2005.
Ready to play.
So, who's going to make an early statement of intent here? It's important for CHOCHUWONG not to let JINDAPOL dictate early. He certainly won't need any encouragement. Let's hope that's just a precautionary bandage on that thigh.
Yeah, but unfortunately it's not so common to have these thigh bandages as precaution. It's very often because you're not 100% fit injury-wise, so let's hope that we still get a really, really good and exciting match here in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Nitchaon JINDAPOL, Thailand. and Omarev, Pornpawee CHOCHUWONG, Thailand. Pornpawee CHOCHUWONG to serve. Love all. Play.
So here we go, finals day underway here in Bangkok.
Service all.
A very delicate touch from the number 1 seed.
1. Love.
Just long.
2. Love.
Well, that will make her feel a lot better. First point on the board and decent overhead too.
Service all.
Drummers are back, by the way. If you were with us yesterday, you'll have heard the
1.
strength of their percussion work.
It's members of the army actually that are here to support, of course, all the Thai players, but in particular
Service all.
the men's doubles player Tin
1.
Israenet that we're going to see in the last match of today's finals together with his partner Namdae, because Tin Israenet is employed by the army, practices with the national team, but
2.
enrolled in the army.
Well, that serve was treated with contempt, really, by CHOCHUWONG. Impetuosity of youth there.
Rally. Well,
if that's the kind of thing we're going to be in for over the next hour or so, or longer, it's going to be a very entertaining final between these two women.
4. 2. No change. Play.
The flashlight used on the opposite side of Jindapol is to serve.
Yeah, it would have been very distracting, just right in her eye line. Still there, actually.
Good shot.
5. 2.
We saw yesterday that Jindapol was a little bit slow out of the starting blocks, so to speak, and one of the possible explanations could be this, that she felt that she would have a great chance of winning the final here. She knew when she went on court that she was going to play her compatriot.
Well, that's 2 in a row. She's landed to that forehand side of CHOCHUWONG. Nowhere near that one.
A much better start today.
Just angled the racket head. Just inside the sideline, perfect. 6-2.
Seven.
And showing excellent judgment too. Nearly played that and then realised it was going to float beyond the baseline.
Taken by the drift. We discussed that there's a drift here in the Nitchaon Stadium coming from the side where CHOCHUWONG is playing towards JINDAPOL, and it makes it sometimes it makes it difficult for both sides. Yesterday the far side of the court was the winning side in women's singles because it helped the players in their attacking game. In men's singles, it was the opposite side. It was the near side of the court that was better because they could really push the opponents and make the court big. That's the third mistake on the baseline that she's made here in the beginning of the first game. CHOCHUWONG, she's got to be awfully careful pushing her shots to that baseline there, and that might hamper her game a little bit. I must admit I did not pay close enough attention to her match that was played on the adjacent court yesterday, so I'm not sure on which side she started out in that match.
3.
So JINDAPOL off to a bit of a flyer here. 2 or 3 winners, and she's also benefited from a similar number of errors from her opponent. This time JINDAPOL's turn to go wide.
9.
Right away from her opponent to play that shot, CHOCHUWONG. One of the reasons some players kind of run around, play that round the head forehand, because it gives them a full view of their opponent. Obviously you get more power too than trying to play it on the backhand. So last point potentially before the interval if JINDAPOL wins it. She takes a very healthy lead
11
towards the chair, 11-4. And probably a fair reflection of the play we've seen so far. I don't think it's that CHOCHUWONG's been overall, she's been outplayed rather, and she's made those unforced errors which Steen mentioned. It's taken 9 minutes.
seconds. 20 seconds.
Very good atmosphere here in the Nitchaon Stadium. especially for an all Thailand or
11.
same country final, they are often a little bit more quiet than when it's players from opposing countries playing each other, because when you play a player from your own country, it's difficult for the audience to side with one of the two players, but the army is taking care of that, we can say, by engaging in the match.
Well, I'm not sure they were on marching drill manoeuvres yesterday. It sounds like choral practice was the order of the day.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jindapol has eased herself into an 8-point lead here. Chochhuwong needs to do something to stop the rot pretty soon.
We see here that she's really trying the right thing, or at least part of the right thing, by attacking. The problem for her is that Jindapol is playing really good defensively right now, and she can't really use power to Jindapol's back court to sort of make Jindapol's court big and create openings. So able to get through in the attack, in a very, very one-sided affair so far.
Service all. 5-13.
A rare mistake from the 26-year-old. That wasn't a great shot from Jindapol, and much on it, and a pretty easy kill for the teenager.
She'll be teenager for just 8 more days. Next Monday turns 20.
Well, a few more encouraging signs.
Yeah, it's very important for Chochhuwong to get her game going here. Even if she should lose this first game, she's quite a bit behind. I mean, we shouldn't rule it out, but in all likelihood, she will end up losing this first game. But it's really important that she gets a game going and gets some kind of confidence, because, I mean, in order to win this match, she will have to play that far side of the court one more time in an eventual third game. But then again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So far, a really good performance by Nitchaon JINDAPOL.
It's nicely done by Chochhuwong.
8-14.
Really had the #1 seed scampering across court. Yeah, beautifully played.
Service all.
Good anticipation and excellent execution.
Service all. 9, 15.
I think that was a very long smash rather than a really, really flat clear. That shot from JINDAPOL. Won the Bitburger Open in beginning of November by beating Zhang Beiwen in the final. Saw that match. Excellent badminton. Probably really high confidence level at the moment for the Thai player.
Service all.
Yeah, just got a
16.
footwork in a bit of a tangle there. Chochhuwong.
Good shot.
Well, it's not just a game of power,
17.
a lot of subtlety involved as well. I think JINDAPOL's experience coming to the fore again at the end of that rally.
Yeah, quite satisfied with himself there. Well played. Wide.
Been a kind of an air of inevitability about this game, hasn't there, since probably the first few points. I think mentally, you would imagine Chochhuwong has conceded it. Obviously, they keep trying here, but 19-9. The mountain to climb.
19-9.
Control.
Service all.
Managed to keep that
10,
inside
19.
the lines.
JINDAPOL clearly thought that was floating out, but it was well in the end. But still, the lady in pink just a couple of points away from taking this first game.
Eleven, 19.
So
Service
here
all.
are 9 game
20.
points
Again point.
for the number 1
11.
seed.
Again.
It's long, and in a pretty quick time,
First game
21
won by
points to 11
Nitchaon JINDAPOL,
in favour of
21,
Jindapol.
11.
And it's really given Chochhuwong something to ponder here. 19 minutes it took.
Of course, the match is played without the use of coaches, since both players come from Thailand. It's very, very common that when it's players from the same country, there's no coaching.
Well, both keen to get back on court, it seems.
Second game.
Money-wise, by the way, $11,250 US, that is, for the winner here. And about half that for the runner.
What's going to be interesting to see here in the beginning of the second game is whether Nitchaon JINDAPOL in fact has a grip on her younger compatriot and really knows how to outmaneuver Pornpawee CHOCHUWONG, or the result in the first game was more due to the drift in the conditions, and there's a side drift there. She was not aware of that at all. CHOCHUWONG, side drift coming from left to right.
That was better. She manages to adjust to that drift in the second game.
And we know that JINDAPOL yesterday, she played really well on that far side of the court, where she had to attack because playing patient was not an option. It was simply too difficult to play with accuracy to the back court. That helped her back on track against Sonia Chia.
Well in.
2, 3.
This wasn't deep enough, the lift.
Service all. 4, 2.
Proved to be a very efficient flat shot from JINDAPOL there, and a little bit shake of the head here with CHOCHUWONG.
Dragged her in, and then she was always favourite to win the point after that. She set it up beautifully.
Service all. 3-5.
Didn't expect that service error. Has favoured that high serve in the match so far, predominantly.
Service all.
But at
6-3.
the moment, Chochhuwong just making too many errors. Well, great rally. Not the longest of the match, but maybe one of the most entertaining. And a big point for Chochhuwong to win, just to try and stem the flow a little bit. Every time she thinks she's just got a sniff, Jindapol just eases away again.
And of course, here we saw her put it long, even on the side where she plays a little bit up against the drift, but drift affects different shots differently. So this was a quite fast-paced shot, and the drift doesn't get it so much. Doesn't break it so much as you would expect it to be.
That's flown long again.
And I'm not sure that Chochhuwong is coming back into this match here. As you said, Trevor, there's a bit too many errors in the mix, and falling behind here must take its toll on her self-confidence.
It's just never really settled. Whereas Jindapol came out first 3 or 4 points, she was all over her opponent. And Chochhuwong hasn't been able to recover. And if she's not careful, this could be all over in double quick time. That's that again.
10-4. Service all. 5-10.
Well, she's got high standards. So just
Yeah.
banging her forehead like, what have I done when she missed that? There we are. Right out to miss occasionally. Only the second time in the match that Chochhuwong's won successive points. Maybe there's a little mini recovery coming here.
10.
That was out as well.
10.
This is starting to become a little more interesting now.
Yeah, it's four easy mistakes, in my opinion, by Jindapol, and I think it's a little bit sluggish. I think she's got the feeling right now that she's going to win this match. But never a good idea to get your opponent started.
Yeah, complacency is the enemy of any sportsman or woman. Oh, beautifully done. Wrong-footed
9.
Jindapol.
Hey.
And now there's just a point between the two of them in this second game.
Service all.
It was in, just on the line, and I think of the
Double.
two, Jindapol's going to be the happier to go to the chair now, just to collect her thoughts a little bit. Clearly just inside the line in the end, so no problem, no challenge. We do have Hawkeye, by the way, in operation. Players have 2 challenges per game, and they don't lose them if they're correct. Well, while she has the lead, there were just a few signs in the last few minutes that Chochhuwong might be capable of finding a way back into this match.
Yeah, and so much for your prediction that she would have no chance of doing that. Or was it mine?
I think we both said it.
I think she took 5 straight points after that, so...
11. 9. Play.
I'm still siding with Jindapol to take this title here, and along with it, 7,000 points to the world ranking and to the HSBC BWF World Tour ranking that decides who is qualifying for the final in December month in Guangzhou. 8 best players in each category will qualify.
Well, terrific play. And Jindapol coming out on top. Excellent dexterity and use of angles by both women there. Yeah, those finals in Guangzhou in December, the top 8. Top 8 men, women, men's and women's doubles and mixed doubles teams will be there. It's the 27th tournament we'll bring you this year. Right round the globe. Nearly sneaked over, but it didn't. That would have been a heartbreaker for Chochhuwong. If Jindapol had got a net called there, thought about it. It started to stay on her side in the end.
That run of points before the break for Chochhuwong makes it believable for her, and I think if the break had come at 11-4, that would have been an unassailable lead for Jindapol almost.
Play.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
11. 12.
And nothing the crowd like more than seeing a competitive final. This is starting to get that way.
And she's getting good pressure on her lifts, and also good, the correct height there, precisely flat enough to put Jindapol under pressure.
Play. All.
So for the first time since they started this game, Chochhuwong is on level terms.
That's a very good call. Most players would be tempted to play that one because I can tell you it's only the last centimeters or so that it drifts the final distance long. A normal judgment of that would say that's going to be inside the lines. Turn of events.
Yeah, nicely done. Needs to re-establish her authority.
13.
Smash was angled ideally away from her opponent. Well, she might have second thoughts about using that high serve again
14.
in the near future. Because a couple of times, Chochhuwong's just dispatched it.
Yeah, really good placement of the first smash and great follow-up by the young Thai player.
So it continues to be nip and tuck, 14 all now.
Service all.
This second game.
14. All.
Too short. She read it again.
15.
Like in the beginning of this second game. She also read the cross lift way too short and punished immediately.
Oh, well played. He's had to turn defence into attack.
15.
The actions.
All.
Well, we got our first challenge of this final. It was called out.
Nitchaon JINDAPOL.
Quickly raised her arm. I
Call out.
don't think she's going to get any joy, but it's worth a go. Yeah, not particularly close, really. But I guess she's got two to spare, or one now in this second game.
One challenge remaining. 16, 15. Play.
Just right on the line.
Service all.
It was.
16.
Sacrificed a bit of speed there. Played it very accurate. Another good call.
Service all. 17.
You could see
16.
she was willing it in, Jindapol, but just beyond the baseline. Got her nose in front again now. Well, it was spellbinding stuff, and just a pity it ended with an error with Chochhuwong overhitting, as there was some terrific defence, particularly from Jindapol in that rally. 43 shots worth of it.
John. No chance. Quick over.
Chochhuwong asking the umpire to towel down. And in my opinion, that's quite telling that she's the one asking to towel down. Probably got a little bit more to her, that long rally, than to Jindapol.
Play. Eighteen, 17.
I was going to say a minute ago, Stina, I wondered whether Jindapol might tense up a little bit with possibly the winning line in sight, but it appears to be the other way. It appears that Chochhuwong's just gone off the boil.
And still, I mean, should she lose this second game, Jindapol, she must be kicking herself for taking a little bit too loose just before the interval here. That's really what's hurting her now, those 5 points.
Yeah, good anticipation.
Service all. 18. All.
It's on that like a flash. So still right in the balance this second game. Jindapol 3 points away from the title. Chochhuwong 3 points away from taking us to a deciding game. Wonder whether she considered a challenge there, but thought better of it. Might have been worth a go. That error gives Nitchaon JINDAPOL 2 championship points. And there it is,
Again.
in some way less than an hour, and the expression tells you everything. Big title on home soil for Nitchaon JINDAPOL. Her opponent Chochhuwong made a much better fist of it in that second game, and just couldn't really live with a more experienced fellow countrywoman.
Match won
And
by
it's the 26-year-old
JINDAPOL.
who
21,
adds this
11.
title to the one she
21,
won in Germany
18.
last year. Not going to hurt her world ranking any either. And for Chochhuwong, you must think, well, maybe a little bit of a learning experience for her. That was the last point. I don't think the teenager can have any real complaints. JINDAPOL was better player on the day, even though there was just a moment in that second game where it looked as though the youngster might be scenting a recovery. 3/4 of an hour, 21-11, 21-18.